Hey, gang, it's Hexy. Bet you wondering where I've been. So before I get started on this, I wanted to make a note on Killing Ground. Um, I took Killing Ground down. Now, I didn't take it down because it's a bad game. Actually, it's a great game. And I was playing the game by all the mechanics correctly, but I was doing something wrong, and that was I missed the support points per the scenario, and I was giving the Germans way too many support points. But so I think what I'm going to do is, you've all heard me say that I picked the wrong scenario. Goodwood was probably not the scenario for me because I like the maneuver combat type stuff, and it's hard to do. That was not a good one for maneuver combat, and the Bocage probably isn't either. I know I will come back to that system because I did like it. I'll probably come back with Jaws of Victory when I go to play that one. But much like a person when they go away from home for a period of time, you reach a point where you just can't wait to get home for the most part. I like to go out and do things, but I can't stay away too long because I want to come home and play with my toys. Well, you know, we all know that my favorite operational scale East Front type game is EFS, the Barbarossa East Front series, and it's still my favorite of the big games like that. And I had a hankering to play it. I've got Army Group North. Rich sent me that, so I said, you know what? Let's set up the whole thing. So you're looking at the German front line. You can see one or two victory locations, and these are ones that need to be grabbed quick. So Kaunas, by the Germans historically, was grabbed in 2 game turns. And I get extra big points if I do that within 3 game turns. Well, I get two if I grab it in 3 game turns. And it doesn't look like you get anything if you don't grab it in 3 game turns. What's the other one? What else do we got here? We got, I'm not even going to attempt to say that. Cialiao. That's a 1 to 4 game turns. The Germans took it in 4 game turns. So that's a 2-pointer if I take that. But right now, anything I have on the map with a red marker is ones that need to be taken between 1 and 9 game turns. So, like looking out over this way, you've got Dagavapils, whatever it's called. Yeah, that thing over the river. This is where von Manstein broke across the river quickly. You got Riga, which I don't know. Yeah, you see Riga. And we go farther out, up by the big lake way up yonder. Let's see if my finger can do it right there. Up there is Skov. And over here, some weird name town called, I don't know what it's called. Up here you got Tallinn, which is 1 to 34 game turns. And so the ones with the reds on it are the ones that you need to take within a certain time period if you want to get the big points for it, which really they aren't that big. And then you got some orange ones way out there, if the Germans get to it. And then there's a map for the Leningrad inset over there, and it has like 20 victory point locations in it. But you got to get there first. And from what I'm looking at here on this list, the Germans only took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the victory locations inside the Leningrad inset map over there. So I don't know how that works yet. When I get to that point where I enter Leningrad, which we'll go up here and take a look at that on the map, when I get to that point, I'll go look at those rules. But here's Leningrad way up here. And then what they did was they took and made where they have like 1 hex gets spread out into 6 hexes over there, and made the Leningrad area bigger. And they say it's because of the stacking that you'll get in there would be too much, so they spread it out. Not a huge counter mix on this one. You can see 3 charts for Soviet reinforcements. Okay, the Germans only have the 1 here, and I got a few more counters to put on it. Not a butt ton of air, but there is air power in it. The supplies, you know how the supplies work in this game. It's MSUs, and there's not an overload of those either. I mean, here's the aircraft bag right here, so it's not a killer bunch. This is the original Army Group North. I've got the entire original collection. And then, of course, I have the new Army Group Center, and I have the Army Group North new one on pre-order. And we've been asking ourselves, a few of us have been asking ourselves, are they going to be reprinting Army Group South since they changed the rules? I have to wait and find out. I will say this, so the Army Group Center box is bigger than the original Army Group Center box. The new one is. All right, so don't have a strategy yet. It's obvious I got to push out and take Kaunas. And that other town there pretty quick. And there's one up here on the coast I need to take. Got to be taken quickly. Germans took this on their first game turn, I think. Let's see. No, they took it in 4. Okay. Well, it looks to me like there's not much here. They should be able to push up there and take that pretty quickly. Not very many strong Soviet units. Some light armor stuff in here. Couple of decent-sized infantry units. One decent-sized armor unit. But there's not a whole lot there in this front line. The biggest buildup is over here by Kaunas. And I noticed that the Panzer divisions are sitting in here for the breakout. So, I don't know. Do we push straight up the road towards Riga, right through here? Take those two. I got to see what kind of reinforcements come on for the Germans. But hey, you know, this is a campaign game. Don't know how far we're going. I think it's 27 turns or 47 turns. I don't know. It's one or the other. But it looks like a lot of it's going to be just large chunks of movement for the Germans, and then the Soviets trying to scatter to slow the Germans down until they can build up around Leningrad and probably over by Pskov. I remember when I played War in the East, the Gary Grigsby game, you know, I'm usually pushing on Pskov way up there. I'm usually pushing on that in about 3 or 4 movements at the worst. Now, I'm stretched a little bit when I do it, so I want you to see how supply will work out in this one once I break out. But it doesn't look like the breakout down here is going to be that hard. All right, so this is GMT's Barbarossa Army Group North. This is the original edition. Don't know how much change is going to be in the new one. We're going to play the campaign. It's all victory point location things. And then there's a few things for headquarters and rocket units and other stuff that you get victory points for that you'll accumulate for. All right, so we're going to get this thing started, see if we can't break out and see if the Germans can't take some of these quick victory locations. And we'll keep you updated as we go on this one. I love this system. I'll try to play as much of this as I can. Maybe if I get fortunate, I'll get all the way through it. I don't know. We'll see. You know, I'm antsy, so I keep wanting to change up. All right, so let's get after some EFS here and see if we can't take over Mother Russia. All right, talk to y'all soon.